usually the one to try something new, to go out of my comfort zone. When the opportunity presents itself, I tend to back away and decline. But there was a time when I said yes and broke out. Initially, I heard from a family friend that there was an opportunity to be in a theatrical production, and she offered to drive me to rehearsals if it captured my interest. I was apprehensive about it, but after a little convincing, I was persuaded to take part. Upon our arrival, we were told to fill out a form with a few basic questions. One of them asked what type of role we wanted to play, and the natural choice for me was ensemble. I completed the audition process. That night, I went home exhausted and did not expect to hear back from the theater company due to the way I felt about how the audition went. I had no premonitory sign of what was to come. A week or so passed, and unexpectedly I received an email stating that I was cast as a lead role in the production. This was a first for me. I didn't expect the theater company to reply, much less offer me a lead. Aware of what people would think if I turned this opportunity down, and knowing how many would jump at this chance, I accepted, and thus began the rigors of rehearsals. They consisted of dance, music, and ended with stage blocking. It was a new experience being in a regimented situation, but I found myself enjoying the atmosphere. As the days went by and we, as a cast, delved further into the script, I found I had many speaking parts and a few solos. It was challenging, learning all the intricate details of all aspects of the theater scene, and singing on key at that moment. Although I had prepared in front of the immediate cast only, I came to the realization that I couldn't imagine performing in front of a large crowd. At that moment, nerves engulfed my body. I suddenly began to second-guess myself and if I was capable of completing my role. I then did the only thing I knew how to do in these uncomfortable situations. I covered my emotions. At this point, I couldn't back out of the show. We were already halfway through rehearsals. Also, as a lead and one of the older cast members, I felt an obligation to be an example to the younger cast. As the show progressed and the deadline approached, my scenes and lines increased. I put the pressures out of my mind and barreled through my tasks. I had a mindset that I would face those problems at a later time, and didn't see the show dates rapidly approaching until they were upon us all. The day of the show arrived, and the truth hit me full force. Each person's role, no matter what, is a vital asset to the overall show. Without each individual, there isn't a production. It was too late to quit, and with a sickening feeling in my gut, I realized that the fate of the show depended on how well I performed my part. There was an immense weight on my shoulders, and I carried it right to the stage as we began to prepare for the show. Suddenly it was time, and we heard the audience in the theater searching for seats. I looked through the curtain from backstage and saw my family in the first row. At that moment, I realized I couldn't fail the cast, and more importantly, the audience. We were called to places, and the entr'acte started to play. The lights went out. The microphones turned live. The curtain opened. My time was now. As the curtain drew apart and the echoes of the first song began, I forgot my fears, opened my mouth, and sang. To my unexpected surprise, my voice didn't shake. It was on key, clear, and loud. It was my time, and I was finally ready. I felt an overwhelming sense of placidity. On the stage, beneath the blazing white lights, I saw the crowd smile. It was an overall indelible experience. It really was. I normally play it safe, but sometimes I have to take that extra step into the unknown, and I always surprise myself. To this day, when I grace that stage, I get that familiar feeling in my gut, but I push it away because I know that on stage is where I'm supposed to be.